Good morning, everyone. Now it is an honor to speak with Mr. Tamir Pardo, former director of Israel Mossad. So let's start with the first session with Mr. Tamir's speech.
Thank you. Thank you very much. It's a great honor being here among you. I see many young people around here, so I suppose that your interest in cyber is quite high. As being a director of the Mossad for 5 years, between 2011 and 2016, we had to many challenges. And one of the biggest challenges was cyber. As you might know, from my point of view, cyber is a weapon, is a deadly weapon. I call cyber a silent nuclear weapon. And it's not understood yet, or fully understood, what is the threat of cyber. The first question is, what is actually cyber? Because we are using this term for many things. And cyber at the very beginning was a tool that was, before then used, we call it SIGINT, Signal Intelligence. And at a certain stage, when people start to use computers, network, so the capability of intercept those networks was the first step in cyber. At the very beginning, no one thought it's going to turn out to be a weapon. But as time was passing, we found out, and major intelligence institutes in the world found out that when you can intercept by attacking network, you can create a few things as well. Besides collecting information, so you can manipulate, you can destroy, and you can do a lot of damage. And as time was passing, those capabilities that at the very beginning was in the hands of only few services became quite common. Later on, we saw in Israel that almost all of our adversaries started to get cyber capabilities. And later on, we saw it in the hands of crime gangs, and it became a very lethal weapon. In Israel, we were attacked, by the way, by all sides. Okay, starting with Iran, with the Hezbollah in Lebanon, with Hamas forces, and by some, let's say, big powers as well. The very beginning was to collect information, but later on, they started to create damage. And that's something that occurred to us that was quite interesting. As we have, let's say, borders with some of our bitter enemies, so we suffer from time to time from missiles from those people there. And when you're hit by a missile, let's say a small factory, within 24 hours, actually you get a check from the government that should cover all the damage. But on the other side, if there is a cyber attack on the same factory that created damage that they should lock it down and stop to work for months, 2 months or 3 months, no one is covering the damage. So when you are hit by a missile, well, the house is cracking, the seal is falling, but within, let's say, 2, 3, 4 days, you're capable to restart your business, and everything is covered by the government. But by getting a cyber attack, you are on your own. That's something that was not clear to the Israeli business. It was not clear to no one. And it's still like that. So for the moment, when we are talking about governments, wherever they are, they don't realize yet that they are dealing with a weapon. And it's a deadly one. Because think, for instance, if tomorrow morning 50% of the Korean universities will suffer from cyber attack, and the database will be deleted. What's going to happen? A student will walk in to his classroom, third year in the medical school, they're going to ask him, who the hell are you? We don't recognize you. He said, I'm here for third year. And I was quite a good student. Well, we don't know you. I'm not talking about losing metadata of very important things, but very simple things can create a damage to the country. And if something like that will happen, Korea government will find all the students in the streets, and chaos will start. If you're going to walk to the ATM in order you'd like to take some money, it will not work. Think that such a thing will happen in Seoul. What's going to happen within 8 or 24 hours? Think about the subway that will stop. Think about the major airports. Think about the hospitals. So if in the past, when we were talking about war, so we had our military institution, we had our Air Force, ground forces, special forces, artillery, and war was bringing two armies, one versus the other. Clashes, blood, ruins, whatever. Today, if you don't want to take over the land of your opponent, you don't have to use those capabilities. You can create such a damage by shutting the electricity. Think about that. By stopping transportation, by hurting manufacturers of food and other things. So actually, if we are looking at the future and trying to see what may happen if we will not take the right precautions, we can suffer. And it's not only from countries that would like to take advantage. Today, when we talk about crime gangs, it's an easy way to make money. Ransom system. Attacking, asking for money. You can sit somewhere 20,000 kilometers from here. Police cannot touch you. Nobody will be able to trace you. And then you are shutting a hospital. You are locking down a bank. And then you are asking for a lot of money. And I remember I had a session after I retired with a CEO of one of the car manufacturers in this part of the world. And we were sitting there and asked me, please, give me an advice or tell me what can happen. So I told him, and it was 5 or 6 years ago, I told him, look, If tonight you're going to get an email stating a list of 50 cars, okay, by chassis numbers, saying those 50 cars, by tomorrow morning, 10 a.m., local time, they will lose their brake system. Asking what, as a CEO, you're going to do? He looked at me, his face turned white, and he said, okay, please assist me. So if he tried to trace it, it means that he have to tell his people, okay, who knows where the cars are. Part of them can be here, part of them can be in Europe or in the States. You don't know. Just that's going to make a fuss. Okay, so you can't locate them. Are you going public and tell we got a problem? That's going to be the end of this car supplier. At least for a long time, nobody's going to try to buy a car or to drive it. If he'll pay the ransom, he can find himself behind bars. If he'll declare it, I don't want to see the figures in stock exchange next morning. So he is in a lose-lose situation. We found out later that those companies are not declaring about the attack unless there is a real threat. And from time to time you hear about the attacks because it was on the open, because secrets were revealed, because privacy were breached. So what should we do? The first thing is that we must understand that those who has the responsibility to defend their premises are the CEO. A good CISO can assist them, but the responsibility, the full responsibility, is on their shoulder. And unfortunately, as much as I can see, CEOs do not understand it. Because when I mean responsibility is to be able to monitor the situation of my company, to understand how much money I should invest in order to secure it, to understand that actually in investing in security, in cybersecurity, the ROI is zero. If you are not attacked, just spend your money, like insurance. If you are attacked, there is no figure that can demonstrate what's the ROI. Because when you have to lock down your company and to send thousands of people, employees, home because there's no place to work in, the price is huge. And unfortunately, we can see in many places that the CISO actually is a scapegoat. He's getting a nice salary, but he's the one who will be fired the day after the attack going to take place. So the first thing that we should do is to make companies, enterprises to understand who is responsible for. The second thing is to invest in cyber. At the very beginning, there was a thought that you can protect your company by building a barrier around it. Okay, and we used to spend fortune on it. And I tell you, as being a director of the Mossad, we spent huge amount of money in order to try to build up a barrier around our system. Today, it's irrelevant. Don't even try to do it. Because the world is flat, everything is connected. So to make the first move into the company network, There's no way to stop it. That's XM experience and our experience from the place that I came from. So we have to deal with it within the network, or the best thing to prevent it. And we'll discuss it a bit later, how to do it.
Yeah.
So must understand, as we're dealing with a deadly weapon, we need the governments, we need the leadership of every country and of the civilized world to understand that we should put limits to the use of that weapon. If in the 50s of the last century, there was an American president named Eisenhower, that he realized that if something won't be done and fast, this planet will evaporate after a nuclear attack that will occur, and no one knows from where even. So he initiated what we are calling the IAA. He initiated the understanding of the global, of the world, of this planet, that using nuclear weapon is forbidden. And treaties were signed, and there was understanding among 99% of the countries on this globe that no one should try even to use this kind of a weapon. But when we are dealing with cyber, we don't see a real leadership today, and I'm afraid that we won't see it for quite a long time, unless something really deadly will happen. So from the time being, it's the responsibility of each of us, wherever he is. Today, we are carrying all our secrets in our pocket on our iPhone or our smartphone, whatever it is. And we should understand that it's quite easy to read those secrets and to take advantage on us. It's quite easy to lock down factories, industries, school, hospitals, whatever you think of. And it's our responsibility to do the best that will never happen.
We can move on to main subject. As I told you, there are two main subjects, and I organized the questions according to the subject. My first question is that you mentioned over and over about importance of cybersecurity. Why should we pay close attention on cybersecurity? And can you share with us any specific cases or examples?
I'll give the first one, is happening now. A few hours ago, I got a report that 12 MGM's resort and hotels in Las Vegas and New York were attacked. Thousands of visitors couldn't open the door in the hotel. ATM was blocked. All the casinos there, the slot machine, stopped. Actually, those 12 resorts were totally paralyzed by a cyber attack. According to the report that I read just an hour ago, the FBI is into it. I don't understand who was behind it. Probably kind of a ransom attack, but no details. And it's just happening now. There was a Deloitte report that in Switzerland, in 2022, 45% of the big companies were attacked by cyber. 45. Think about that. I'll tell you about myself when we're discussing cyber. A few years ago, I'm giving lectures in an American university. Every semester I'm coming for a couple of days or weeks. And there was a political storm in Israel during that time, and I gave a lecture. And it was the last lecture before taking the flight back home. And I arrived to my office in Israel next Monday. And I'm getting a call saying, on last Thursday, you gave a lecture at that university? I said, yes. This was the subject of the lecture? I said, yes. So they said, okay, so you said, we know that you said something that's very interesting. And something that could bring the Israeli government to collapse. I said, I never talked about Israel at all. It was something general. Talk about oil prices and so on and so forth. I said, no, we got a report from the university about it. And we're going to put it, we'll do a press release in a few hours. What do you have to say about it? I said, it never happened. As being a co-founder of a cyber company, I asked my CTO, please check what is it. After a few minutes he came and told me, look, on Thursday afternoon, few hours after I gave the lecture, a website was open in Central America with the name of the university, and instead of education, it was just something different. And on Monday morning, there was a release. Complete imitation. By the way, using AI, because they used phrases that I'm using. They put it in a way that the university is doing a press release. With the logo, with the colors, everything was as it was published by the university. And of course, no one would have reached that website. So what they did, they cut and paste and sent it via WhatsApp to many journalists in Israel and in the States as well. So no one, when he's clicking in, he don't look that it's all the address is an address for university. When you open up, you see it's a university, and people were 100% sure that it's real and not a fake. This is a very simple use of cyber, creating fake news, not stealing, but can create a chaos. They did one mistake, that's all. They never thought that time difference between Central America and Israel is 6 hours. So we managed to catch it quite fast and stop it. We see it on a daily basis, using cyber capabilities in order to plant fake news, to convince people about many things, to destroy companies, that beside all the other things. Another example is an attack that took place on a hospital in Israel a few weeks ago. 8 o'clock in the morning, emergency room is fully packed, and at a certain moment, all the data deleted. Nobody knew what's happening in. As a good friend of mine, that he was in charge of the emergency room, he said, we went back 50 years, backwards, taking a pencil and a paper and start to ask the people that came hours beforehand to the emergency what they are suffering from, what happened, what medicine we gave them. Nobody knew anything. It took weeks. It was a very simple ransom attack.
And my second question is that we South Korean are more interested in North Koreans' capability and the situations. It is known that North Korean hacking squad steals industrial informations as well as illegal cryptocurrencies as funding to their nuclear programs. What do you think about their capabilities and situations?
Well, I can't tell you a lot about North Korea, but I can compare it to the other part of the world. If in the past it was thought that only big agencies can have cyber offense capabilities that can be used, today it's wrong. Actually, to be a good cyber hacker, you don't have to have a PhD in computer science in university. The best of them are 17, 18 years old. Actually, they never wanted to go to school, so they studied at home using their laptop and studied alone because they have the capability to do it. And the percentage of young people that can be good hackers is the same in every society. You don't have to be from a rich family in Seoul or living in Boston, Massachusetts, or in the, let's say, the richest part in Israel. The same percentage of those kids are spread everywhere. And from the moment it was understood, so you could find those great and good hackers almost everywhere. And they are getting better and better. I remember that seeing our adversaries for many years, we saw them, let's say, 20 years ago. So they were quite lousy. They could create almost anything, no damage. As time was passing, they became better and better and better, and they are closing the gap between the best organizations. And you can see them everywhere. You can see them in every country. You can see them mobilized by the government if the government wants it. You can see it that the governments are using those young kids and from time to time even allowing them to create a damage. And there is, we know it from many countries around us, that there is a way that the governments are using those young kids and telling them, look, you can launch a cyber attack for a ransom reason, and we allow you to do it, but we're going to take 50% of the income. That's all. And if you want, we can even supply you with the laptops and all your technical needs if you want. And we can see it everywhere. So if I'm thinking about South Korea, I think that comparing to our friends in our region, it's a very, very serious threat. Yeah. And you must understand, those ransom attacks are in time of peace. because they're asking for a certain amount of money to release the data. But those same people, when there is a war starts, they're used in a different way. It won't be a ransom attack. It's going to be a lockdown. And we'll use the same people, the same capabilities, in order to create a chaos in the country. Think just about the opportunity to create or delete all the data in the hospitals. You are unable to give any assistance to anyone. And hospitals is only one part. Think about the transportation. We talk about trains, underground systems. It can create a damage that you can lose a war without understanding it's happening. And we saw it in the past with few small examples that took place, let's say 10, 15 years ago, in an attack on Georgia and other places in the world.
I used to be a medical doctor, and I'm very concerned about hacking a hospital or medical system or weapon system would devastate humans' lives. What do you think about that?
Think that just in August, last August, a few weeks ago, on one attack that was against an American holding hospital. In a few hours, 16 hospitals, big one, and 165 clinics were hit.
Yeah.
A total lockdown in a few hours. Now think about what's happening in the emergency room that time. People, doctors, physicians have no idea what to do. And that's just the very beginning. When we're talking about pharma, for instance, to create a damage in a pharma industry is quite simple. To create damage in the blood bank, just to mismatch all the data there. So you can have zero blood in the country after one attack. Do we understand that the critical infrastructure in a country was determined in the past in few small things: electricity, gas, banks, more or less, that's all. But today everything is connected. So when a hospital or let's say calling a restaurant to buy some food for the night shift, an attack can start at that restaurant and run through the IT that is connected to the hospital, to the emergency room, and then to operating theater. We proved that even when dealing with medical devices, we can play in it. We can use cyber attacks in order to change models there, in order to change protocol and figures. So we are putting on yourself the blood pressure, so you won't get the right outcome. It's an option. I'm not talking about manipulating the oxygen system in a hospital. Or if you are going to California, shut down the air condition in the summer time or the water. So hospitals, and we see it in figures lately, are prime, let's say, candidate for a ransom attack, and going to be a prime target if we're going to have any military conflict wherever it's going to take place. We can see it, and we can see all the signs, and when we are watching the cyber crimes against hospitals, they're getting up and up and up. And unfortunately, I'm going to tell you, with the XMCyber, I remember that 3 years ago, I went to one of the hospitals, major hospitals in Israel, and I told them, okay, I offered him to take our system. And we started negotiation, and he told me, look, the price of your system per year is like the price of an MRI. So what should I buy? Your system or an MRI? Interesting questions. As a doctor, you would like to buy the MRI. You're going to be able to save much more lives. And if he will not be attacked by any cyber, so the money that he paid per year for that software that should protect him will not save lives. But if he will not buy it, he might lose a lot of lives. But to make this small change in the way professional people are thinking, it's quite hard. But it's our job to do it, and it's the Ministry of Health in every country should make the right regulation that hospitals and clinic will take the right decision and invest in cybersecurity systems.
This is time for artificial intelligence, especially generative AI. What will be the role of AI in cybersecurity in the future?
They are using it now. The attackers are using now AI, or already are using AI. Because, for instance, for phishing, okay, think when you're getting a message that you feel 100% sure that you can click and no damage will occur, you'll do it. When you're getting a phishing email that is, you don't know who the hell sent it, and it's you don't think that it's important or it's relevant to your occupation or what are you doing for your living. So when you are suspicious, you will not click on it. But if you are getting something that was designed for you, because someone using AI were able to learn from your behavior, your needs, what are you interested in, you're going to send something that's going to be accurate to the point of your needs. Then you're going to click it. And to do it with AI today, it's possible. We can see signs of using AI on the defense as well. We can see it starting. It's going to assist us, but we must understand that we are, those who are in defense have a much more work to do in order to defend themselves, those hackers, that they are choosing the target, they are choosing the timetable, and they have a lot of patience.
Mhm.
So we, on defense, we have to be much more accurate, and we have to invest a lot in order to be effective.
Yeah. There was one more question about cybersecurity, but he already mentioned about that. So we will move on to next session. Israel has a population of 9 million, but they have already 13 Nobel laureates. But Korea, South Korea has 52 million population, but only one peace Nobel laureate. There's a big difference. So my question is like that. What made this kind of difference between two countries, and what should we do like Israel's success?
Well, look, Israel is a very small country. We don't have natural resources. Until 5 years ago, we didn't have no oil, no gas. Now we have at least gas. We don't have copper, we don't have gold. And we are a very small country. And we are forced to be with our back to the wall for many years. So high tech was the solution. Because in high tech, you are using your brain capabilities, and because you don't have any other options, so you have to use it. And you have to use the best out of it. And as we are a very small country, we have to concentrate on export. Unlike big countries, like Korea, or like you can say some European countries, that they can do it for their own use. When you are forced to do it for export, we have many more competitors that we have to beat. Because if you want to export something to the United States, so now there is a challenge of 250 million people. If I want to export something to Korea, I have the challenge of 50 million. So we have to try to do the best. And there is a big difference. I'm not talking about Israel and Korea, but between Israel and many other countries. Because we are back to the wall, we developed some kind of, I'm going to say, DNA that when you fail, you're not out of the system. Please try to learn from your mistake, stand again on your feet, and restart. That's something in many countries, when people are failing once, no one is giving them the second chance. When you're a small country, and when you have people that are good, and when you let them fail once, and they learn from their mistakes, they're going to be much, much better next time, and they're going to be winners. Because being a winner is not the one who never loses. One who loses and come back and give a fight and win the battle.
And I have been interested in therapy program. Please explain about that.
Okay. In the past, when we needed cyber capability, first of all, you must understand, in Israeli, service in the army is compulsory. Each woman or man at the age of 18 should give a service, male 3 years minimum, and women 2 years minimum. So when you are graduating high school, you are directly moved to the army. At the very beginning, when we needed cyber capabilities, so people, young people at the age of 18, from the best schools, were recruited to those, let's say, intelligence forces, and they learn to be cyber hackers or cyber experts. After a few years, there was understanding that there is need for more and more and more people. So we developed a program that went to the high school, actually. At the very beginning, it was the 7th, let's say, the 11th grade, if we have 12 grades in Israeli schools, and then to the 10th grade and the 9th grade, and to try to locate people or young boys and girls that have the capability to study cyber and computer science. So we invested on those kids from the age of 15 or 16, and they will reach the age of 18 and were graduating high school. They have already the knowledge and could participate in those agencies, in those organizations within the army and other intelligence services in the compulsory time. So this program was amazing because it was not taken from, let's say, only the big cities and the best high schools. It went to the small villages, to the small countryside, to every small school, and to try to locate those people.
Oh,
From that moment on...
I have a question. Is there an entrance exam for that?
Sorry?
Entrance exam.
When you are trying to monitor at the age of 16, 17, okay, who are that? You are giving some exams, you are giving some questionnaires. You are trying, because you are not looking for someone who knows it. You're looking for the potential. Okay, so it's not an exam, actually.
It's like...
it's more a questionnaire or an interview to try to ask you questions to see how you solve problem, because people that got those capabilities had got a certain way of solving problems.
So it's more like aptitude test, right?
It's a survey, actually. Okay, you are trying to find out who got the potential of studying it with a minimum effort.
Okay.
What else?
And is there any way for South Korea to adapt lessons from them?
Look, in Israel we have quite a big disadvantage. When you are 18 years old, you're not going to college, university. You're going to serve your country, at least for 3 years, or 4 years, or 5 years, depends what you want to do. So when you are graduating, let's say, the military service, you are at the age of 21, 22, 23. So you are starting attending university quite a late age. It got a great disadvantage, but you are more mature. So you can be much more effective in your studies, and even though you are losing very important years that you are what we call wasting in the army, you are able to make a shortcut later on and be much more productive at the very early stage of your life. And there is another thing. when you're taking those kids that are serving in the army, they are getting at the age of 18, after studying a bit cyber, and they have to perform on the front, cutting-edge capabilities of the country. At the age of 22, 23, they are old men,
Yeah.
while understanding and creating and being part of the offense or the defense on the front line of the country. You don't see it anywhere they don't have a compulsory service. Because people, what they are doing at the age of 21, others will do at the age of 40 or 35. You are getting a condensed experience because you are not only learning by yourself. The moment you are starting your service, you're in a unit. Okay, and the unit had a target. So people are learning from each other. So it's something that is really different from most of the countries that I know.
Yeah, our time is almost up. So my last question is that you recently found a startup, XMCyber. Even though you are getting old, what's your motivation?
I'm not getting old, I am old. I must tell you, we were 3 co-founders. The total age of the 3 of us was close to 200. So, and we started a startup on cyber, and after 5 years, we did an M&A. We were bought by a European company, and that was the best exit that was done in Israel in 2021. So it was nice, and because we came with a totally different idea about cyber defense. We found out from our experience that to understand the way hackers are thinking, are manufacturing their actions, when you understand the hacker, you can create a better defense. Because a hacker is a sniper. Hacker is a hunter. Hacker has a lot of time to think and to find the holes in the network. What we are doing, I'm going to tell you. A hacker actually is looking for an answer that is somewhere at some endpoint in the network. 99% of the endpoints are not interesting. So if in the past people used to defend all premise, now we found out the way to defend the crown jewels, the critical assets. So we developed an automatic machine, actually, that checks 24 hours, 7 days a week, all time, the path that any hacker can find out towards the critical assets, and we are blocking it. And we are giving to the CISO, to the security team of this premise, the answer how to block it. So instead of dealing with all the endpoints, deal with those endpoints that are giving the assistance to the hacker to reach the crown jewels of the company. And that was it is very, very effective with excellent results.
Thank you very much first for this very interesting session. So my name is Jean-Michel, I'm from Thales. Now, just coming back to one of the points you made on generative AI, with one of the topic of this forum this week. It is, in a way, lowering the bar for a lot of people to start cyber attack. You were talking about phishing, about those type of exploits. So could you tell us, in your opinion, how we are going to be able to protect ourselves better from that? Is it just raising awareness, or you see other things that could come into play? Because it is going to increase a lot the scales of some of the attacks, but especially the numbers of attacks on people.
I believe that, to every weapon, you got an answer. So they are using now, we can start to see that they are using, the attackers using AI for phishing, for instance. They're going to use it in the future for many other things, okay? To find even where are the weak points, or who are the weak employees in the company. Okay, they can target an endpoint that's a certain person is sitting because they know that he is, let's say, lazy, that he is not very accurate, or that he is not reporting about fuck-ups that he did. So using AI going to be very effective to the attackers. But the moment that they're going to start to use it, we can learn, okay, where are our weak points using the AI. So using the AI in order to find out where are the weak points in our premise, where are the mistakes that we are repeating. You can find out that by understanding that every company, and now they got their own DNA. To understand when I understand my DNA, I can understand how I can deal with my, let's say, faults, with my weak points. So using AI will not, it might serve on the, let's say, defense directly in the future. I'm sure it will. But doing the basic thing with AI is to understand myself, to understand where are my weak points, whom to recruit, whom to fire. When you collect a lot of information, using it the right way, is like, we are using now AI in the medical field, trying to get all the data in order to find what is the right medicine to that certain person. Okay, because he was born in this place, he got his blood cell so-and-so, he got some, let's say, special qualities, and then you can find the right quantity of medicine that you should give him. You don't kill him with overdose, or you'll give him less, and it will not cure him. So we can use AI on both sides by asking the same questions.
Next session will begin soon in this room, so we cannot accept any more questions. Please understand. Thank you for your attention. Thank you.
Thank you very much.